Hey, what's up guys? Just getting set up here to do a little painting. And just was seeing how I basically can view this live feed. Oh, here we go, maybe. Hey, what's up, Mike? I haven't been able to take commissions for a while. Good morning, everybody. And thanks for tuning in. Just doing a little painting here and seeing if maybe we can have a little fun. Here this morning, not a whole lot to do. Kids still sleeping. This is something special I'm working on here. You guys may have seen this. Pretty excited about this guy once I finish him. Took the Warsman Tom Veg head. Poor connection. I don't have the bandwidth. But that's the Davy boy I'm working on. I think I need to take his head down a little more to do that the right way. So I'm just going to be doing a couple basic things today. This is a Matilda that was molded by the Warsman, cast by Warsman I should say, and I've done one of these before, but this is going to go with my British Bulldog. And then see if we can do a little painting today. I was hoping I could see the live feed on my Instagram page, but it doesn't look like. Okay, maybe I gotta follow to see live. Hope you guys are all having a good morning, hanging in there with the coronavirus and everything. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I guess it's not gonna let me see my own live. Just so you know, guys, I can't see your comments right now. I thought I could set it up to where I could view the live feed. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll just start painting. Let me see my viewpoint where I'm at here. Okay, you guys can see right up to here. So what we're working on today is a couple atom bomb heads we're gonna finish. These are cast off of the jacks. What I like to do for an easy holder, head holder, is put a little stick tack. This is just the plastic stick tack that you guys will find anywhere. Poster tack, call it different things. And then you just put a little on the top, and then it comes off the figure right easy. But then you have something you can paint on, something to hold, super easy. I like to do it that way. That way they stay on, they don't fall off, because I would notoriously drop my heads while painting them, trying to hold them. This way they don't fall off. These are crushes. These are from the atom bombs, are from the Warsman. They're casts of jacks, classic, and the crushes are jacks shrunk down by the super talented. Hold on, I'm just trying to get a little more of this off here. I can't think of the name right now. I'm gonna kick myself. Game Changer, I believe. If I didn't get that right, I'm sorry, but I'll double check later. But this one doesn't really want to stay on too well. We're also going to be doing Ludwig Borga. Just make sure we got everything off here. These are all clean. There's another piece for here. I'll show you the paints we're going to be using today as well. And you just want to make sure everything's clean off the surfaces here. No dust or particles. Now sometimes you get air bubbles like you can see in this one here. Paint will fill that in. You ain't too worried about that. Paint we're using today is going to be your basics. We've got Vallejo Dead White, Vallejo Black, for some of the brown hair, Citadel Mornfang Brown, and then our skin tones. Pretty much cover everybody with this. Lighter guys like Borga here, I think we painted that, yeah, is Kislev, and then the darker shade is Cadian, so you can kind of see the difference there. Switch those around. That's kind of what we're looking at there. And then one big thing is, learned a lot about prep work. You definitely want to prep everything correctly, because if you look in here, you probably can't see, but all the pigment is up in the top, so you want to stir it. I use a paper clip, nothing too technical. You can also get different types of thinners, if it looks too chunky or if it's dried out. If you're sealing the bottles correctly, they should not dry out. I used to shake these guys in the container and wasted so much paint, so don't pull that rookie move and shake too much. But you really probably got to stir each for about 30 to 45 seconds, sometimes even longer depending on the color, but you want a nice clean consistency, and you also want it a little thicker than milk. It's kind of hard to gauge, but I don't have any more of my thinner left, which is kind of a bummer. I used that all last time, but we're almost done here. This is a little thick, but it'll do for today. So this I should have done ahead of time, but I didn't know I'd be able to do this video today. Kid's sleeping, he was up all night. I'm hoping he's not getting sick. We haven't been out of the house, so we are social distancing and staying inside, so that's good. And then always like to try and save as much paint as possible, because he's running about $4 a container, so you want to just kind of slide that off. Always keep a good towel, or a bad towel in this case. We're going to repeat with the Kislev. Also this little thing here, if you push it out, bam, container, little holder thing. We don't want that to get in our paint. So we're going to stir this guy up. And again, guys, I can't see the comments. I thought I might be able to load it on my laptop, but I need another iOS device, or my wife's Mac maybe. So what we're doing right now, if you just tuned in, we're just getting the paint prepped up to do some details on the heads. You're going to need a couple skin tones. You're going to need black and white. And you can use anything from Citadel or Vallejo on the premium side, all the way down to Apple Barrel. Apple Barrel is just kind of cheap paint, but it's alright if you need it. But if you really want to buy cheaper paint and still be good, I recommend Craftsmart. I think it's the Walmart brand. It's like $1.50, maybe $2, compared to $4 to $5 on these. But use the Craftsmart premium, or if you can, always try to get a little bit more premium of a product, but don't pay a whole bunch of money. As long as you apply it in thinner layers, then you'll be okay. You just have to do more layers, takes more time. And you just want to make sure you're getting, so this may just be kind of a prep tutorial here. There we go. So we got paints there. These ones are nice because if they're in the bottle, you can kind of shake them up on your own. There, and then we have our brown. And we don't need these guys open right now, so we can do a, ooh, be careful, half seal. Yeah, this guy's a little thick. If it's a little thick, you can usually put a couple drops of water in. That'll help thin it out a little bit. So you get the consistency you like. The brown, you really want to make sure to mix up well. It's got a lot of pigment too. Don't know if I'm using the right term, so feel free to correct me. Still doesn't look thick. Normally I would use thinner for this, but I am out of thinner, so water works to thin it out. Normally you want to thin it in your container, but in your tray, but this container's almost done, this pod, so I just do it right in the pod. Get everything mixed up real well, and there you go. We're starting to get the right consistency there. If you guys have any questions, make sure to try and DM them to me. I'll try and get back to you. I can't see the video questions right now, so sorry I can't respond. But I'm always down to help when I have the time. And then I always make sure to pull up a reference pic while I'm going, so I'm gonna get me a reference pic pulled up of one of these guys. As you can see, we do a couple different things of water here. I actually need to refill some of them, but these are just dipping cups I stole from the wife. I was like, what the hell did you do with all my dip containers? Painting tray. These are our heads. This is a figure I'm working on. We're gonna paint the top of him today as well. A diesel custom Hasbro for one of my good friends on Instagram here. And then these guys, all of these guys back here are for my buddy Peter Loria. Sorry Pete, I've been so far behind on these and so much going on. As you can expect, we've had our talks, but I'm looking forward to getting these done for you. We're also working on a Kenny Omega that's going to go with the heads that I have up there for Reno and Gangrel. Those are all going to the same guy. But yeah, I'm not able to take customers right now because I got enough to keep me busy without it. What do we have here? I guess I had some more paints. I guess I didn't need these ones yet. I still actually had some, but I already started these ones and prepared them, so we're going to go that way. Let's see. Google, the old Google machine. And we're going to go, let's do Atom Bomb. Always have references up. It always helps so you can get a better idea of what to do and what kind of look you're going for. And it's always tough to tell. Like some of these guys have black hair. Some of these guys have brown hair. I'm gonna go with looking at this Crush figure as well over here. I mean, Atom Bomb. Looks like they have them as brown. And here you go. Here's the actual Jax figure, which is super sweet. I still have it in my collection because I like it so much. But these are the heads that we're doing. They're actually same size, but he has a big head and it's a bigger body. Here's the actual one I'm working on. I had to switch the legs out because I got them mixed up. That's the other one we're doing, and also took down some of the bulkiness on the chest since he was not as ripped as that. So looking forward to getting that done. But yeah, I love the Jax as well. So I always like to have a little reference, so that works as well. We'll go brown here, I guess, first, and then maybe darken it up a little with some black. But I like to do the eyes and stuff first, so we'll go ahead and do some painting here. All of our heads fell over. You do want a decent set of detail brushes. Wiped it with all mine, of course. And a big key to keeping everything staying organized. I just reorganized everything and didn't do a very good job because now I can't find it. And I got all kinds of stuff all judged up. Okay, here we go. No, that's not what I'm after. These are some older detail brushes, but not what I'm after today. Where's my other pack? I don't know where my good pack of brushes is at. I may have to check back in with you guys here in a minute if I don't find them. What the freak did I do with them? They're in like a little zipper bag somewhere. Okay. Here we go. So here's the detail brushes. You're going to want to get a 0 brush or something along those lines. I'll show you the one I like to use for eyes. You can get them in all kinds of different styles, but this one is a 18-0. You have to go to Hobby Lobby for these ones. I already kind of shot out the tip on it, but you kind of see there. So that's the guy we're going to use today, and we're going to get us a little paint in the tray. Let me make sure I'm still lined up here. If you just tuned in, we're just doing a little live painting. My white paint leaked some, but go ahead and do that, and then what we're going to do is go ahead and we're just going to paint the eye whites. Get your brush red, use a little bit of paint. Keep in mind you don't have to be perfect here because we're going to go back in and fix all these when we do the eyelids and the eyeliner around the eye. So basically all we're doing is looking for something like this. Nice smooth eyes there. And then I'm always a big fan of cleaning your brush. Every time I like to do a little wipe, a little rinse. Then go back in. And literally it's just one little pull on each side. And then you can also, we should also be doing the teeth while we're at it. And if it's a little sloppy, it doesn't matter because, like I said, we're going to go back through these, so we always want to keep our brush clean. We'll go back in. And on this one, since we had the hole, we're going to do a little bit more paint to fill our hole here. We just take it out a little, and again, if it's not perfect, it's okay, because we're going to come back through, we're going to clean all this up. So that's the one thing I learned is don't be afraid to make a mess. You can always fix mostly everything. So see, that guy's not perfect, but we'll come back and clean that up. So he'll work for now. A little more paint in there when you have some air bubbles. That's just natural in the cast process. Molding, I guess. Molding and cast. I don't make the head, so that's one thing most people don't know, is I don't make the heads. I don't have time to. They're great guys. Game Changer Studios the Warsman, designed by Tom Bedge. Mad Reaper makes some awesome heads for his project, so definitely always a lot to learn. Here, we're just going to go ahead and get our Borga in here. And the whites of his eyes are a little smaller, so not even that big a deal there. But see, that's what we're looking for. And we're going to get Kenny done too. Always want to keep your brush clean. A lot easier to do stuff like this. And again, if the eyes aren't perfect, don't worry about it, because you're going to come back in, you're going to clean it up. You just want like a smooth pull. So that looks like most of our eyes there. Let's see if we can. But you really don't need much paint, as you can see, just a little bit. Go. And then we let that dry. So usually by that dries, you can kind of do some other stuff. You can work on hair. Let's see. It's so tough. I think they did him in. He has brown hair, but it's always tough to tell because it was always wet. So I'm thinking it's wet brown hair. So we're gonna bust open this Mornfang brown. It's the darkest brown I have. We'd already gotten it prepped, so it looks pretty good. And then what we're gonna do is we have our handy headstands there. With a wider space like this, you can use a wider brush. You can use whatever you really want. At this point, I think I'm gonna go with this guy. I'd like to get a clean water. And then what we're gonna do is wet your brush off of there and then go in, and then you can just kind of paint it up. And again, we're not looking to be super detailed, we're just getting the basic stuff done today. So we can always go in and touch up edges and other stuff, and as you apply it, you can kind of see how thick it goes on. So if it looks a little thicker, go in and get some more paint, or it looks a little lighter, thinner, go back in and get a little more paint. If it looks too heavy, go ahead and go back into your water a little bit. Don't be afraid to play with the paint while it's on the figure, because it's not going to dry right away. So what we're doing is we're just kind of blocking everything in here. Super easy, as you can tell, and super relaxing, you know, if you do it the right way. Fuck was that? Something fell off my desk. And then going along the way, if you see any air holes, just putting a little more paint in it to fill those up. They may dry down and you'll have to go back in and touch it, but not a big deal. And again, remember, this is only for just the basic stuff that we're doing right now. So, don't have to be super perfect, which is always fun because you can do it a little quicker, but you want to keep your stroke under control. A little shaky because I had too much coffee this morning. Been up most of the night. Archie was tossing and turning, not feeling good, but definitely think he's okay, but just want to be sure. And like I said, we're not going out, we're social distancing. I hope you guys are all staying home. Hopefully you guys were able to pick up a brush and maybe paint along with us. I'm going to try to arrange some more painting activities, but we'll see how that goes. Alright, so cool. So that looks pretty good for there. He's got a beard, but we'll come back to that, and we'll kind of set him off over here. Let's go to the next one. You'll see I clean my brush a lot, but it really serves a purpose. It keeps everything a lot smoother. And I know this isn't the best angle for showing you guys what I'm doing, but kind of what we have to work with in my setup currently. Well, I hope you guys are all doing good. And I know it's a wild time out there. We just need to know that we all need to be safe and keep washing our hands and stay inside, social distance. Make sure to get outside, get some exercise, but stay away from people, 6 feet away. Wash, sanitize a lot. Again, we're just going around here. Don't have to be super detailed because we're going to go pimp all this stuff out later. This is just base coats after we sealed, so not a big deal. And not a big deal if we paint over some spots that are supposed to be a different color, because we'll come back in, clean it all up. And then the sealer as well will help us with some of these blemishes, but you always want to make sure to get it as smooth as possible. Equals a better finished project in the end. But we all learn, so if you're just starting customs, don't get frustrated. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. I was putting a lot of pressure on myself when I first got into customs because I just went head over heels for it and learned a lot real fast. And then I learned the good techniques and slowed it down. And everybody has their own way of doing it. This is by no means the correct way of doing any of this. This is just my way. So adapt your style accordingly. It's just about having your own flow. I usually have some music on, but since we're streaming, I didn't want to get possibly thrown off, because they're always doing that on here. I'm definitely going to look at going on Twitter as well for that. So got another hair done there. And then we had Crush. Oh yeah, and we also had some boot laces we might as well do, since we have the white out. So always important to try and maximize your paint while it's out. Laces, you definitely want to use a detail brush. Laces are super hard. You definitely want to make sure you're steady. You know you can always go back in if you seem to mess up too bad. But it looks like we're doing all right here so far. I'll show you what we're doing in just a moment. So not bad. Like, it's a little messy, but you get the gist of what we're doing here. And we'll go back in and clean it up here. We just want to go ahead and get the rest of our strips here, boots. Clean up everything, all these lines. Make this model. And my detail brush is not doing me too well here. I kind of fried it out already, because you really only want to do it for details, and then I get using it for other stuff and blow it out real fast. If anybody has some better suggestions for detail brushes that may not funk out as fast, let me know. Shoot me a message. Go. So we're almost done here. As you can see, this shit takes a while to do. And some people may be faster than others, and the more you do, the more you certainly get used to it, but good hand painted work takes time, and I'm not the best, I'll fully admit that, so definitely not the best, but I always strive to do good work. And my big thing is enjoying it while I'm doing it. You definitely want to enjoy it. So there you go. There's the boot. Little messy. We're gonna go ahead and clean up the edges on this. These are Rick Martel's boots. Oh, and he does have the white strip in the back. I always forget. If anybody's just tuning in, we're just kind of doing some live painting here. Before the kid gets up, he'll be up any time now, so probably won't last a whole lot longer. And then if you see your paint's getting a little thick, you can always bring a little more water in and just spread it out, because you don't need a whole bunch. You can always add more. And we're going to go back in and touch these up as well, but you get the gist. If you see your paint looks a little rough on there, just go ahead and add a drop of water and just let your brush do the work. Smooth it out, let it come down, let it fill the surfaces. And like I said, we'll come back around and touch all these guys up right now. We're just going around and getting the base done. And if you get a little sloppy, it's okay again, because we're going to go back in and touch all these up. But the main thing you're looking for is a good smooth application. And if you see anything that looks weird, you can usually scrape it off with your finger or do something. Sometimes there's plastic or other stuff. Alright, so there we go. Looks like we got most of that. We're going to go back and touch that up a little later. Nothing much exciting here, just some touch-ups. Want to make sure to keep your tip on the brush. Go in. And I know you can't see this, but touch it, draw it out. Paint starts to get a little light around doing two of them, so we only want to do two at a time. And I'll show you the final. And if they touch or you're a little messy or a little shaky, that's fine. You can always make sure you're hydrated, that's a big thing. And then you can always use the table as kind of a brace. See, I did a lot there. I did 4 there, and it kind of shows. But we can always go back in and touch it. I spin the brush around on my lips when it's wet and clean, so it kind of gets a better point on it, because you need a super good point for these boots. And I think I just screwed this one up because I painted the wrong way. But laces are one of the ones that when I first started out, like, I would do an awesome custom and the laces would look like a friggin' hack job. So you live and learn and you try to get better. And just like Bob Ross used to say, like, there's no mistakes, only happy little accidents. or some shit like that. Could be totally wrong on that. But don't beat yourself up on customs. Have fun doing them. You want it to be something that's enjoyable to you and fun to do. And keep going back in, trying to get my tip again on the brush. If you have a good brush, you don't have to do that, but I don't have tons of money to spend on brushes right now. A lot of other important stuff going on. Alright, so that looks pretty good. We're going to go around the baseline here. Almost done. And people wonder why customs cost a lot. Because if you want to do them right, they take time. And any good customizer, any decent customizer knows that. Something you learn and you get better with and try to grow and help others. Alright, so we got those. That's looking pretty decent. So, gotta get the back again because I almost forgot that, but we're not going to use our detail brush because it's a friggin' mess right now. But as you can see, they get shot out pretty easily. But you can still kind of save it. That'll work for later. What else do we got going on here? Let's get maybe a crush. Oh yeah, what up? I just looked over and saw this is the I gotta reboot my internet, so I'll be back in a little bit, you guys, and we'll look at doing some details on those heads. You guys take care and stay up, yo.